Hey 7th grade, this is the video for Unit 6, Lesson 8, where we will be able to determine the percent change. Now, that shouldn't sound too unfamiliar because Mrs. Abdurrahim actually covered a lesson like this before we had the final. And you have a reference sheet that she gave out to you. If you have it with you, it'd be really helpful to use during this packet. If not, that's okay. I'm going to provide you with the formula anyway. So the think about it says, Tamara starts out with $5 at the beginning of the day. By the end of the day, she has $3. And step A asks us, what is the change in the amount of money she has? Now we're going from 5 to 3. We know the change is $2. So I'm just going to show that right here. $5 minus $3 equals $2. And step B says, what is the percent change from the beginning of the day to the end of the day? So we know we're starting with the beginning, and then we're going to the end of the day. And at the beginning of the day, we have 5. At the end of the day, we have 3. So if you don't have your notes with you, the formula that we're going to be using is the new number, or the new amount, minus the original amount. I'm going to write number since it's easier. You take the absolute value of that. I'm going to highlight that in blue so that we don't forget. And then after we do that, we're going to divide that number by the original amount again. We do that first. And then after that, to make it a percent, we multiply it by 100, since a percent is out of 100. So again, we're working with the new amount and the original amount. We're not working with this change that we calculated in part A. It's irrelevant right now. But our new amount, it looks like, would be $3. We're going from 5 to 3. So we have 3, and our original is 5. And again, I'm going to highlight those absolute value signs so that we don't forget we have to take that. Now it says over the original amount, which is $5. Then after we do all of that, we're going to multiply it by 100. So essentially, I'm just substituting into this formula. Now we have 3 minus 5, which is negative 2. But since we're taking the absolute value of it, I'm just going to write 2. 2 over 5 times 100. And y'all know I really like working with fractions, so I'm just going to put this over 1 and cross simplify. So a common factor between 5 and 100 is 5. 5 divided by 5 is 1. 100 divided by 5 is 20. And then we multiply across. We're going to get 40 over 1, because we did 2 times 20 and 1 times 1. And we get our percent is 40% change. Now, since we completed this, we can form our conjecture for today. I want to know how we can determine the percent change. So let's look at step B. How did we determine the percent change for this problem? We used a formula. So now if we scroll down, or if you flip your page in your packet, there is a box on the next page that says conjecture. So we're going to write, we can find the percent change by using the formula. And I'm going to write our formula. I'm going to put a different color for it so that we can see it. We have the new number minus the original number. And then we take the absolute value of that over the original number all times 100. I'm going to put that right here. And then we multiply across. We're going to get 40 over 1. 100 divided by 5 is 20. And then we take the new number minus the original number. And then we take the absolute value of that over the original number all times 100. 100. You know what, I'm going to move that to the bottom so that we have room during TT2. Now, I know the reference sheet might have two different formulas on it, one for an increase, one for a decrease. This formula will work every single time. Feel free to use the reference sheet how it is, but this formula that is written right here will work every single time. So now that we have that, let's check out test the conjecture number 1. It says, what is the percent change if the starting value is 40 and the final value is 60? So how can we apply our conjecture? We can use our formula. So I'm going to write down the formula right away. We have our new number, again, minus the original number. Take the absolute value of that over the original number, all times 100. But there's something I have to do first before I start substituting. What I want to do is I want to figure out what the new number is and what the original number is. And I'm going to do that by annotating. It says that my starting value is 40. So if I'm starting with it, I know that's my original. And it says that my final value is 60. So I know that's my new value. So now we can go ahead and start plugging in. We have our new that's annotated. It's 60 minus 40. Take the absolute value of that. All over our original, which is 40. And see, even though this is an increase, the absolute value is technically irrelevant, but as long as you put that every single time, you'll always get the right answer. So then we have 60 minus 40, which is 20, over 40 times 100. And I know that 20 out of 40 is 1/2, so I'm just going to write 1/2 to make my life easier, times 100 over 1. Let's cross simplify using the blue. 2 divided by 2 is 1. 100 divided by 2 is 50. And if we multiply across, we will get 50% change. Does our conjecture hold true? Can we use the formula to solve this? Of course we can. So let's try out test the conjecture number 2. It says, Yesenia left her house with $160 in her wallet. When she returned home, she only had $100. What was the percent change in the amount of money she had? So again, I'm going to write my formula. New number minus original number. All over the original number times 100. And I'm going to annotate my problem so that I know what I'm substituting. It says that she left her house with $160. So she started with that, and that's our original. And then when she returned home, she only had $100. So this is her new amount. Now let's go ahead and substitute. We have the absolute value of 100 minus 160 all over 160. We're going to do that first. Times 100. And I'm doing my subtraction first. I'm doing 100 minus 60, which is negative 60, and the absolute value of that is just 60. So then we have 60 over 160 times 100 over 1. And again, I'm going to cross simplify. I know that a common factor is 2. I know that one is 4. I know that one is 10. And I know one is 20. Let's do 20. So 100 divided by 20 is 5. And 160 divided by 20 is 8. And then we multiply the top and the bottom. I'm going to get 300 over 8. I'm still not done. I have to make this a decimal so that we can represent it as a percent. So 8 into 300, I know that off the top of my head, it's 37.5. But the way you would do that, you put 8 on the outside, 300 on the inside, goes in 3 times, 6, oops, 0, that goes in 7, and then your decimal goes right on top here. So I know it's 37/50%. So now that we have this, I just want to quickly go over the criteria for success to make sure that we do it successfully every single time. So I'm going to write this down right over here on the left side. You guys can copy it down wherever you have room in your packet. So the first thing that we did, we actually wrote the formula first, but I would suggest that you annotate first. That's our number 1. Annotate for the new number and original number. And then the second thing that we're going to do is we're going to write down our formula. Write down formula. And once you have all of that, you can easily substitute. Substitute for values. And then fourth, we're going to answer in terms of a percent. So you don't have to move a decimal or anything since we're multiplying by 100. All you have to do is make sure that you put this percent sign at the end. And that's it.